I'm saddened by this discovery, but I must ask, how do we reconcile having a church representative liaison to an organization, the UN, whose claim is to eradicate Jesus Christ from the minds of men? Is there merit to claim that our observer status keeps us distinct as the people of God? Or are we repeating the sins of ancient Israel? I have a new series out. It's called Total Transformation. And in that series, I address the typological and the antitypical Israel. Ancient Israel and the final movement as represented in this church. The parallels are striking. And it is Spirit of Prophecy based. The Spirit of Prophecy says we are repeating the history of ancient Israel. She goes further and says we are worse than they are. We had time to perfect it. So yes, we are worse. The reason why I did that series, because there will be many that will be very angry with me because of that series, because I mentioned by name what we do. I even mentioned by name what organizations we are affiliated with. But my reason is different to those who sit outside the church and have nothing better to do than to criticize this church. I have a responsibility. I'm an evangelist. And people say to me, how can I join this church when you do exactly the same things as the church you're asking me to leave? Isn't that a good point? So I have a responsibility to show them that in spite of the fact that we do exactly what the other churches do, yes, we sit in ecumenical councils. Yes, we have representations at bodies where we shouldn't be. Yes, we've had conference presidents and other presidents sign the Charta Ecumenica, which recognizes papal succession, and which says that we will preach and teach nothing to affect that ecumenical harmony. Yes, we've had that. But there's a huge difference between this church and any other church that does that. All the other churches have a top-down structure. The ultimate top-down structure is the papacy. If the Pope decides it, one person, the whole church is obligated to believe it. In the other churches, you have synods. If the synod gets together, however large that body, according to the size of the church, if that body decides it, the church has to believe it, it becomes doctrine. Not the SDA Church. How does it work here? You decide. God has made this church different. He has called it out of Babylon, and He has given it the final message. We are repeating the history of Israel, yes, but if it weren't for the fact that the individuals within the churches choose the delegates, who choose the delegates, who choose the conference presidents, who choose the unions, who choose the GC, and even with all those powers in place, can all of these change one doctrine in this church, yes or no? No. What does it take? It takes a GC session. And who attends the GC session? You do. The representatives of the church. And God in His wisdom has seen to it that there are more third world people that are Seventh-day Adventists than first world people that are Seventh-day Adventists. Because if you live in a first world country and you have the privileges of a first world country, very often you don't have the need for God as someone who lives in a third world country. And so third world countries tend to be conservative in their thinking. Freaks the first world countries out. And when it comes to the vote, it's that vote which swings And sometimes that vote doesn't sit comfortably with first world countries, but they're bound to it. They squirm and they do this. And sometimes they decide, we don't care. Those people are primitive. We're going to go it alone. And then you have a president here or a membership there or whatever, and they do their own thing and they say, well, I don't care. I'm going to sign this charter Ecumenical. Does that make my church apostate? No, but it makes him apostate or her apostate. So there's a difference between our church and other churches. Yes, we have many apostate people in this church, but there are 7,000 all living in Ethiopia who have not bent the knee to Baal.